Hello viewers, welcome to my channel on Cat Africa Live. Today I have a special program and it's something I have been waiting for us to discuss for a very long time, and I think today is the perfect day for us to have this discussion. So today I was going through online. Online, and I realized that because of, I think, few months ago, the activities that happened in Gabon, So US has decided to withdraw its aid. US has decided to withdraw its aid, its foreign aid that they are using to support Gabon. US has withdrawn its aid from Gabon, which is the support they are giving to Gabon has now been withdrawn for that. That was what I have come across online. So let me read this for you. This is the article that I came across online. They say the United States, which had already paused assistance after the military takeover, said it has formally determined that a coup took place, which under US law requires an end to non-humanitarian aid. They want to say, US is saying that they have now come in realization that really a coup took place in Gabon. So now they have come in realization that it's against their humanitarian aid policy. We will resume our assistance alongside concrete action by the transition government towards establishing democratic rule, State Department spokesman Matthew Miller said in a statement. So US is saying that they have come in conclusion that a coup actually took place in Gabon. And this coup that has taken place in Gabon, it means that it's against their humanitarian policy. So they are withdrawing their aid, their foreign aid that they have been using to support Gabon. They are now withdrawing it. So it came in mind, and it was a lot of things were going through my mind, and I want to ask question that, do you think foreign aid has really helped Africa? Do you think foreign aid has really helped Africa? Today, that's my question. You can leave your comment in the comment section. Do you think foreign aid has really helped Africa? For me, I think foreign aid has not helped Africa. Foreign aid has not helped Africa. And one thing I want to prove is that foreign aid has rather made African leaders lazy. Foreign aid has made African leaders lazy. And that is a very alarming. Foreign aid has really made African leaders lazy, because most of the times they only depend on foreign aid, and at the end of the day, when there is, they are not putting in place measures to generate money internally to support their budget. Majority of African leaders are not generating money internally to support their budget. They are always going for foreign loans to support their budget, which also have foreign implications, because if you depend on loan for your budget, or if you depend on loan for a project in your country, most of the times, when something goes wrong and they withdraw these policies or they withdraw this aid, you start shivering. And so foreign policies has really damaged Africa, and it has made African leaders very lazy. So foreign aid has not really helped Africa. It has made African leaders lazy, because there is a way we can sit around and come up with modern technologies to generate incomes or to generate funds to support our own projects. But at the end of the day, we go around and begging for money. That is something that is so now. US is withdrawing their aid from Gabon, their foreign aid from Gabon. But I know before the guy took over, the Gabon guy took over, there was a whole lot of strategy behind it, because I know he knew US is going to, what do we call it? US is going to withdraw their foreign aid. So I think they have prepared for it. And they should realize, what they should realize is that foreign aid has never helped Africa. Because at the end of the day, foreign aid makes them lazy. And one thing I have realized also, that foreign aid has brewed corruption in Africa. Foreign aid has really brewed corruption in Africa, whether we like it or not. Because of foreign aid, like me, for example, things I have seen. Let's say last 2020, when the COVID came, there was a whole lot of support that came in for Ghana. Let me talk about my country. There was this support that came in for Ghana, and at the end of the day, all this money after the COVID, we try to let them know that after the COVID, you have to make accountability. You have to account for this aid and this help that came in. And at the end of the day, the finance minister came in to Parliament House, and he couldn't really do all this. That he was not able to account for the money that came in. So foreign aid has somehow brewed corruption in Africa. So it's about time the new generation, I won't talk about the older generation, because most of the older leaders has been compromised. Most of African older leaders has been compromised. Most of them are puppets. As we have been always saying it, most of them are puppets. So they don't put up measures to make sure that Africa is going forward. They don't put up measures. Most of African countries are following this colonial democratic system. Most of African leaders are following colonial democratic system, and with this system, it has been able not to help this continent, because at the end of the day, the colonial democratic systems, which most of them, like Ghana, we go 4 years, then this guy comes 4 years, is really not helping the country at the moment. So these people, these old leaders, they have been more of a curse than blessing to most of the African countries. So I'm talking to the new generation, which is the youth, that it's about time, if we are going to take positions, we have to draft policies that will let us be self-independent. We have to be self-independent, because at the end of the day, if we are going to keep on depending on foreign aid, depending on Western countries, depending on all these Western countries, we are not going to go anywhere. We are not going to go anywhere. So my question is, do you think foreign aid has helped Africa? That's my question for today. But to me, foreign aid has been cursed to most of African countries. Foreign aid has been a curse than most of African countries. I can read of King of Norway. They can keep it too. No, absolutely. So it seems King of Norway is sharing the same mind with me, that the foreign aid, they can keep it, because at the end of the day, foreign aid hasn't helped Africans. So the new generation, I'm talking to you, we are doing all this to liberate ourselves. We are doing all this to enlighten ourselves. Me, I don't have any big educational background, which I can go into a lot of things. But I'm using my own common sense to tell you that since most of African leaders started depending on foreign aid has never helped Africa. One, instead of collaboration with the Western countries, instead of them collaborating with them or partnering with us to set up industries that can refine raw materials, that can build in that can help us and also create employment, they rather come here and they come and take our resources, and at the end of the day we rot in poverty. So instead of them supporting us with foreign aid, why don't Western countries come sit down with us for us to collaborate or partner with each other to set up industries that can create employment to African youth? At the end of the day, most of African youth are running away to foreign countries. Most of African youth are running away to foreign countries. And this is why Africa keep retrogressing. It's a very sad story. It's a story that African youth have to sit down. African youth have to sit down. I can see Mr. Easy. A lot of strings are attached. Yes, a lot of strings are attached when you depend on foreign aids. Recently, US Vice President came to Ghana, and a lot of people were suspecting that he came here because he was coming to push LGBT. Yes. Somehow, she came and started promising a whole lot of big money for Ghana. And at the end of the day, people started suspecting that there is something funny about her visit to Ghana. A lot of people think she came here to push the LGBT agenda. So that is also one disadvantage when you depend on foreign aid. One disadvantage of you, they are going to push their policy or they are going to push their culture on you, because at the end of the day, you only depend on foreign aid. At the end of the day, you only depend on foreign aid. So I think it's about time we tell them that please keep your aid and let us generate our own funds to support our economy, because it's going to be very difficult, but that is the road we have to take. That is the road we have to take, because at the end of the day, if we are going to depend on foreign aid, we are going to mess up. They are going to force their policies on us. They are going to force their culture on us. They are going to force their values on us. And that is why it is very bad for us to depend on foreign aid. Recently, Uganda also passed anti-LGBT bill, which was a whole big news in Africa and international platforms. Yes, what happened was, after Uganda passed that law, most of the country, the Western countries, started withdrawing their funds from Uganda. Most of them started drawing their foreign aid. They started sanctioning them. They started pushing a whole lot of things to Uganda for them to make sure that they struggle. But at the end of the day, Yoweri Museveni, who is the president of Uganda, told them that enough of your foreign aid, enough of your sanctions. We are going to depend on ourselves to make sure that we generate our own money, or we generate our own fund to support our economy. Because at the end of the day, the foreign aid you people has been pushing to us hasn't helped us. And it was exactly the point. That's the point I'm making. It is most of the times the foreign aid these people push to most of African countries don't end up doing the job it was supposed to do. That's why I said foreign aid generates corruption. The foreign aid hasn't been able to do what it's supposed to do. And one thing I've realized is that most of the foreign aid, the countries that give the foreign aid, don't even ask for accountability. They don't care what you use that money for. They just push that money to buy your what to how should I put it, to manipulate you. Let me put it that they push all this foreign aid to manipulate you. So brothers, it's about time African leaders, and I'm really pushing this to the new generation. The old generation has been compromised. They are greedy. Most of them are selfish. So they don't think of the continent. But as for us who think about the continent and has made it our priority to make sure this continent, in Ghana we call it Ebe Fran and Tomapa, this continent will progress, or this continent is going to be successful if we are all having this brain, we are all having this mentality that we are going to push this continent for it to be successful. Then it's about time we liberate ourselves from this colonial mentality of self-independent and all these things. It's about time Africa, we put our foot down and say enough of the old way of governing a country, and make sure we push the agenda forward. Because at the end of the day, Africa is one of the best continents. Africa is carrying majority of the world resources. We have enough resources to be successful in Africa. We have enough resources to be great in Africa. We have enough resources to push anything we want. What we need is unity, African unity. That is only one thing I'm preaching for, because we are always saying we can progress, but without unity, we are going to struggle. Because at the end of the day, Kenya produce coffee, tea. They also have tourism. That is their part. In Ghana, we have cocoa, we have gold, we have oil. You go to Nigeria, they have oil, they have this, they have that. If we are going to come together as one Africa, we are going to perform great things. We are going to do great things. So it's about time Africa, the new generation, we shouldn't give up on Africa. We should never give up on Africa. We should never sit somewhere and say our leaders has really messed up this continent, so we are going to give up. We should never give up, because at the end of the day, if we give up, the colonial masters or the Western countries will come and take your resources and make sure you are going to suffer. Because at the end of the day, if something happens to you, if you run to Western country and something happens to you and you come back, you are going to experience, you are going to see there is nothing left for you. So let's protect the resources we have, and let's sit down, the new generation, let's sit down and start putting things on paper and start implementing policies within ourselves that will help this continent to progress. And one thing I will tell anybody is United Africa will be the first steps for us to start a progressive Africa. Because with unity, and if I'm saying United Africa, I don't mean Africa have to come together to become United States of Africa. No, we can partner ourselves. We can decide to link our countries together, like with railways, where we can do a whole lot of we can trade among ourselves. We can do a whole lot of things together. And if we are able to do these things together, Africa is going to be great. So my question to anybody who is watching me today is, do you think foreign aid has helped Africa? Do you think foreign aid has helped Africa? Those who are watching, you can, most of the times, I just learned that whilst you are watching, you can gift some gift called super chats or super thanks. You can have a gift called super thanks. So those who are watching and appreciate this content and want to support this and want to support this channel for us to be great, for us to bring you news, or for us to bring you content that will help this continent progress, you can send me super thanks and super chats so that it can support me to push more agenda or push more content so that we are going to progress. As I said last week, I have also started this livestock farming. I've started this livestock farming, which I've acquired the land. You can see it in some of my content. I've started livestock farming, but I've gotten the land. I haven't started. I've gotten the land in Eastern region, and those who also want to support, you can support through. I have left all my bank details in the description, so you can also support me and make sure I have my bank details. And those who are in US, you can also use ZELLE. I have ZELLE number, which you can support me through that number. Everything is in my description. In my description box, you can see all the information there. So I do appreciate. A few days ago, a lot of people have been supporting, and I really appreciate them. A lot of people have been also supporting me with the super thanks, and I do appreciate everybody who is trying to support me to make sure I bring a very good content. I do appreciate you. So as my final question, let those who just joined, my question is, do you think foreign aid has really helped Africa? Do you think foreign aid has really helped Africa? And if you think it hasn't helped Africa, you can leave your comment in the comment section. And if you think it has helped Africa, you can also leave your comment in the comment section. We all want to share ideas. But for me, I know foreign aid has been very bad policy for Africa because most of the times this foreign aid has never been put into what it's supposed to do. This foreign aid ends up in a lot of leaders' pockets, and it has never helped. So thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for watching. I do appreciate. These days I'll always be coming evening, and I'll be doing live a lot on this channel because I want to have a direct what do you call it? Direct touch with my subscribers. I want to have a direct touch with my subscribers. So I'll be doing most of my content these days live for you to know that you are dealing with a real person and I'm not just a robot. So please, those who haven't subscribed to this channel, please make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification button so that anytime I upload any great content, you will be notified. Thanks for watching. We will meet again tomorrow, the same time and the same place. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.